Hello, Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for Fire Brigade of Flames, Chapter 122. I believe there was not a chapter in Japan last week. I don't know if either the scans missed last week's chapter and this is last week's chapter, or there just wasn't a chapter last week. I don't know. I guess we'll find out in the next couple days if 123 comes out. But anyway, when we last left our heroes, Shinra had gotten a second of power from the woman in black, which he had used to mess with time in that weird way he does that I still don't quite understand, but and in doing so, he both beat Tempeh and saw an image of 250 years ago of Tempeh's creation at the tear in space, and saw the preacher come in from the other side, and we found out the preacher is female, which I don't think we knew. But yeah, she is. So we have this cover page of a shot beauty, a shovel, and some weird little thing. It says, "Thank you, we will not forget the smile of that hero." Chapter 122, The Black Lady. So is this the end of the China arc, I guess? Because they're saying, thank you. It looks kind of like an ending. So yeah, we open with this huge kaboom where Tempeh was. And, debris rains down on the ground, which I guess is actually the only thing that would be exploding is Tempeh. So that might be Tempeh's guts, or no, it's leaves. Leaves were blown away by the explosion. My bad. And Tamaki's like, "What was that?" And Ogun looks to the side. "Where's the demon? Shinra-kun is gone too." "It can't be. Shinra, with just 1 second, snuffed out the demon. That's the true power of the Adora burst." And Ogun's flame tattoos are already fading away. And Shinra got blasted way outside the forest. And you can see the Shintai in the distance. "Geez, that kick sent me far away from the forest. Time to head back." The preacher emerged from the tear in space. Does that mean they're not from this world? Firefight. Oh, and he hears the woman in black speaking to him. "Firefighter, did you really manage to defeat that demon in just 1 second? I heard you came from the tear in space too. I feel your presence like the preacher's. Are you from Adora? You feel it because I spent an eternity within God. Because I was so burned, Adora's presence grew stronger in me. I was once human, just like you, and that man, Tempeh. With the preacher's bug, the Adora burst awoke in me, and I came to this world with her." So, wait. So were they in Adora? Were the preacher and the woman in black in Adora together, and then the flame bug turned her into what she is now, and then she came to this side? Or, I don't understand. "Do you want to know about the relationship between the preacher and I? I was only brought here on God's whim. That God was also created 250 years ago. I just took care of it. I used its energy not for destruction, but for creation. And so I created this oasis for the suffering animals." Alright. So let me make sure I got this straight. So, the Shintai created her. The Amaterasu in China created her, right? So does that mean the Japan Amaterasu created the preacher? But the preacher also came through on this side, though. So I don't know. To be saved from pain, the human race has created many religions. And so they imagine gods and demons, paradise and hell, across so many different lands and languages. Why would human religions have gods and demons? Did the preacher show Adora to those people? It may be that the preacher has long controlled humanity. In which case, would all humans imagine her to be a god? So, the preacher created the concept of religion? Okay. Is that where you want to go with this, Okubo? Your opponent is that god that was created. God. A firefighter's duty is to stop anyone who would unleash disaster upon the world. And out of that obligation, this forest has been saved. Thank you for that. And then the three of them finally get out of the ship. Pan, Arthur, and Victor finally get out of the Shintai. And Victor's like, I know I heard a big explosion just now. Ogun, are you okay? Captain Pan, we're done here. Shinra must have just finished putting the souls to rest. And then Shinra just lands. Speak of the devil. You're done investigating? What's inside the Shintai? We have excellent results. Then Shinra puts it. Oh, Shinra is now inside the core. All right, because you can see the arrow on the wall, and he puts his hand on the door of the core. I can't hear her. Is she asleep? I'm grateful for your help to put Tempeh's soul to rest. Investigation just today yielded us a major breakthrough. If the Shintai was built into the same way as Amaterasu in Tokyo, then its energy comes from humans. Amaterasu's energy source is human, and the 8 humans with the Adora burst are pillars. And Panda's so disgusted. He's like, you seem to be enjoying this. And like Victor looks really fucking creepy with his fucking like grin like that. Pillars is a good name for such sacrifices. That woman who made the link with me at the 4th was the first pillar. So Hitohashira Me is the first. All right. If there are humans inside Amaterasu, they must have been sacrificed. I felt so much hatred coming from that woman. She may hate the human race that continues to live while she was sacrificed. Oh, so hold on. So that means all. So are the pillars just like destined to be sacrifices? Because Sho and Shinra are also pillars, as is Inka, and I think Haumea was the other one we know about. This probably means that the woman in black and the preacher are not pillars. I think that's pretty much been confirmed now. But Hitohashira Me is, and she was sacrificed, which has brought her to Adora. So I imagine Haumea and Sho, Shinra, and Inka are just like destined to be sacrificed, or like dignified that they can be sacrificed to Adora. I don't know. And likely by force. So Shinra says, she may hate the human race that continues to live as she was sacrificed. And likely by force, unlike the Dark Woman who entered the Shintai willingly. Hajime and the Church of the Sun are hiding something about Amaterasu. Doesn't Victor work for Hajime? The 8 arrows that we found in this core, are they some kind of key? The data that Dr. Giovanni stole from Vulcan. Is it like the arrows, a key to Amaterasu? The only thing we don't understand is the numerical sequence. Arthur said that it was pi. But when we return to Tokyo, we'll compare. But even if it is, what's the connection? Whatever it is, it all means that everything is going according to the preacher's plan. I don't quite see how, but alright. She wants to sacrifice the 8 of us with the Adora burst to Amaterasu to recreate the great disaster. But now that we know her plan, we can't let ourselves fall into the palm of her hand. Alright, so now we know now we have an idea of what's going on. Alright, so the preacher wants to sacrifice them, except Hitohashira Me was already sacrificed. That's why she's in the Tokyo Amaterasu, right? It's why she's interacting with the others, because she's in Adora. Also, is Haumea okay with this? Because Haumea is one of the sacrifices, right? She's the second pillar. But why is she, like, okay with being sacrificed for the great disaster? I have no idea. Alright, so let's carry on. This god. And he imagines the preacher's head for a second. I'm going to snuff her out. Then we see the rest of the gang at the matchbox outside the oasis. You're leaving? Right now when everything's been settled? A hero's life is a busy one. Hero? Shinra, you're incredible. We're so weak that we had to ask. We're cowards, unable to fight on our own. Hey, you did everything you could. You didn't have many choices. That doesn't make you a coward. If you keep carrying that bad feeling, it'll eat you up inside. Shop, you wanted to save this forest, right? Then it's okay to depend on others. Accepting one's weaknesses and asking for help is its own kind of courage. If you have trouble, call me. That's what a hero is for. And, like, Shop looks at him with, like, I imagine there would be tears if he had tear ducts. And he, like wipes the flames from his eyes. I'm going to dig 1,000 holes every day. If I still don't become stronger, I'll call you. And Shinra looks at him, and they drive off as Shop, like, hops in the air and waves at them. Until we meet again. And then everyone already starts cracking up. And Victor, because of the laughing gas, and Victor with his gas mask on. Why can't you just put on your masks? Hell yeah! Or it wasn't cracking up, it was the super hype gas. The Chinese Peninsula saga ends with a deep breath. There's no time to be depressed with goodbyes. In the next chapter, a new arc. Hell yeah! Should be continuing chapter 123, A Threatening Shadow. Alright. So there was a lot to unpack in this chapter. Like, holy hell did a lot happen. And not so much a lot happened, we just got a lot, confirmed. And it was kind of a wild chapter. So we know pretty much what the preacher wants. We still don't know why the preacher wants to recreate the Great Disaster. I'm still not entirely sure, like, a lot of the backstory of the woman in black and the preacher. Like, I imagine they're a lot, I don't know, maybe two sides of the same coin, in a sense. I'm still not entirely sure. Did they live in Adora? Is Adora livable? Because the woman in black mentions, where is it? Early on in the chapter, that she's like a human just like you, just like Shinra, right? Yeah, I was once human, just like you and that man Tempeh. And then she says, with the preacher's bug, the Adora burst awoke in me, and I came to this world with her. Which implies she's not just like Shinra and the other humans, that she's from Adora. And I wasn't really entirely sure people could live in Adora, except like full-on demons like Shinra's mom. I don't know. There's a lot I just don't know. Yeah, also there's this bit about how the Shintai is only 250 years old, right? But the woman in black theorizes that the preacher came well before that to introduce the idea of God. And I'm still not entirely sure how that happened. There's a whole lot of confusion going on right now. And I really just there's just a lot of like lore in this chapter. Not really, I don't know if lore is the right word, but a lot of like starting to unpack, but just enough to like make what's there even more confusing, you know? Like, I don't know what most of this means. Like, I understand the preacher created, or might have created religion. And that, but like, where the preacher came from, what, is there a civilization in Adora? I thought it was just kind of like hell. But like, you know, both the preacher and the woman in black came from Adora. I don't know how. I guess there must be some civilization. I mean, there has to be. We also know, Hitohashira Me is more than likely inside the Tokyo Amaterasu. But like, does it have to be an unwilling sacrifice though? Because the only real difference I can gather between Hitohashira Me and the woman in black, besides maybe where they come from, is that Hitohashira Me was forced into the Amaterasu. But if you have to be forced to count as one of the pillars, why is Haumea a pillar? Because was it like way back in like chapter like 90 something? Wasn't she, or like 10 something? I think she was one of the pillars, wasn't she? Let me pull it up. But like I don't know. There's a whole lot of shit going on that I just don't understand. And I'm sure I'll understand as the series goes on. Here, there's the shot of, like, the 8 pillars in silhouette, with Sho, Shinra, Inka, a flying woman, I'm assuming is Hitohashira Me, and Haumea. And you can tell it's Haumea because no one else wears that ugly-ass burlap sack. With some more, like, people, like, silhouette in the background. But, like, anyway, I hate her outfit, in case that's not clear. But apart from that, there's just a lot going on. That I don't think is really quite adequately explained. So I hope it becomes more adequately explained later on. Also, if I think it's Vulcan who says it. Not Vulcan. Victor. That the arrows are like the data Giovanni stole from Vulcan. In that case, it looks like the Tokyo Amaterasu is just like a later model. Given that the one in China has this like manual like arrow key thing, and like the Tokyo one has a flash drive. But yeah, there's still a whole lot that still needs to be wrapped up. We have like just a tiny bit of like the information that's like really going on in the background of this world, and I really want to know more as the series goes on. But yeah, that's really, there's a lot to this chapter. In case you couldn't tell, we're almost at like 15 minutes. So yeah, there's a lot to this chapter, but I really did enjoy it. I'm enjoying the confusion. I'm hoping to be less confused as the arcs go by. Next week's a new arc with a really vague chapter title, right? Like the approaching shadow, I think it is. A threatening shadow, which is super vague. Don't know what that's going to be about, but it's a brand new arc. Moving on from China and talking animals and all. There's a whole bunch of shit that like we learned in China. This was like a really big arc. We've had a lot of really big arcs lately. Like pretty much since the Netherworld, the series is really like kicking into high gear, and it's been amazing. And I can't wait for more. And honestly, I really hope it gets animated sometime soon because wow, this stuff is going to be epic. But yeah, I'm going to leave it at this. I hope you all enjoyed this chapter and the video. If you did, drop me a like, subscribe, whatever the fuck you want. I don't really care. And as always, people, keep kicking ass, and I'll see you in the future. Bye.